folks, SE Closer here again in the Southern Style Studios. I'm going to do a quick follow-up video to this last video I posted about the different amps that we tested, the 4 amplifiers that we tested, all of them at wide open volume to see how loud they were, and we took some decibel readings on them. And one thing I noticed, and I just thought I'd discuss it real quick. I didn't talk about it in the video, but the Marshall Class 5 was, the quietest amp. Let me look at the results again. I didn't forgot. Yeah, the Class 5 hit 104 decibels. The Tweed hit 106. The 65 Deluxe hit 111, and the 800 was 116 plus. Okay, and when I was testing these things, the Class 5 was 104 and the Tweed was 106. Now, that's not that much difference, but the Class 5 sounded like in the room, and it was louder. And I don't know if it came across on the recordings or not on the video. I had to kind of turn the volume down on those a little bit so it wouldn't blast your ears so bad. But the reason why the Class 5 sounded louder is something that I was discussing in an earlier video, when I was answering the question of, why can't I hear myself in the mix? And Dr. Cone came on and he explained it to you. You need more mids. Okay, the Class 5 is a Marshall. The other 2 amps are Fenders, or Fender clone, Fender style amps, and the 800s obviously are Marshall. The Marshalls have stronger mids, okay, than the other amps. So they cut through, and they just sound louder because the mids are louder and stronger, and that makes them sound louder. So in the room, that Class 5 sounded louder than that Tweed. The Tweed was a little bit louder. It was, 2 decibels louder, which isn't much. Another thing is that the Tweed, the Class 5, the Tweed, and the Deluxe, Blackface Deluxe, all 3 of those are non-master volume amps. And the JCM 800 is a master volume amp. But you have to turn them up loud to get distortion. But as I touched on in the other video, the reason you choose larger amps sometimes is because you want more headroom. Now the Class 5 doesn't have a lot of headroom. Once you start getting it up over maybe about 3 on the volume, it's breaking up. You get it up about halfway, get this volume at noon, it's breaking up pretty good. I would almost venture to say that once you get that much over the volume level of 8, it goes to 10. Once you get it a little bit past 8, you're not noticing it getting any louder. It could be, but you're not noticing it getting any louder. It just breaks up more. You're getting more drive. The Tweed gets a lot of drive. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of headroom. I'm running a 12AY7 in the first position on it right now, just to not get as much gain and get a little more headroom out of it. The Tweed breaks up a good bit on 3. Okay, and it just gets more and more and more. The volume on that goes up to 12. All right, it doesn't sound like it gets much louder past 8 either. It just distorts more, and it gets really fuzzy, and I think that's why it does not seem as loud, even though it was 2 decibels louder, which is kind of hard to perceive anyway. But the perception was it wasn't as loud as the Class 5, and the reason why is it didn't have the mids, and it was very, very distorted. So if you're trying to cut through a mix, it's not probably going to cut through quite as good if you have to turn it up that loud, because it's just got so much distortion on it, and it doesn't have a lot of mids, and you can't adjust the mids on it that much. I mean, you got a tone control. That's all you got. You can go, more lows, more highs is pretty much all you have. So I just wanted to touch on that. The 65 Deluxe was, fairly loud. And how many decibels was that one again? That one was 111. It wasn't too much less than the Marshall, but it still seemed like there was a big difference in them in the room. And a lot of that is mids, folks. I'm telling you, mids. People, you hear the mids. The mids will cut through. The mids make it sound loud. Okay? It will make it sound loud. So that's about all I can tell you about that. So I just wanted to touch on that a minute, just kind of like a brief little follow-up video. And of course, I think I put little notes in the other video about all this is relative to you using the same speaker. Because a lot of times, if you have it's like the 5-watt amp, if you want to make it sound louder, put in a more efficient speaker and it will be louder. And if you want to tame it a little bit, put in a less efficient speaker. You drop, 5-6 dBs on a speaker, on the efficiency. Like if you got one that's rated at 100 and you put something in it rated at 94, you will hear a big difference in that. And I'm talking about the sensitivity rating. That basically tells you how efficient it is. There's a huge difference in that, folks, and you will notice that. You will really notice that. So that's another way to tame them if you want to. So the speakers do have a lot to do with it. And I know that these speakers in these amps that I did the test earlier, they were all 8-ohm speakers, but they did vary in efficiency. And the Tweed does have an Alnico speaker in it, and those are using a little bit lower output. The other amps have ceramic magnet speakers in them, so they're going to be a little louder anyway. And I'm pretty sure the Blackface and the Marshall, those Eminence speakers are pretty efficient. I would say they're 99, 100 dB on efficiency. And I'm not sure about the other ones, but I think the Class 5 speaker is fairly efficient too. The speaker in the Tweed might not be that efficient. I don't know. It was a Weber speaker. It's a good sounding speaker. It's a real nice speaker. I don't know the specifics about it. Maybe I'll look that up and put it in another video. But anyway, that's just a little follow up. SC Closer here at the Southern Style Studios. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you later.